As always, Let's Get Out and Read the Bible is brought to you by Magic Medicine Marijuana. Listen, it's fucking, we get it. It's a charged subject. It's hard to figure out what you believe about eternity and Jesus Christ and the book and this and that. But we must be doing something right because we have so many technical difficulties in this one. It's fucking ridiculous. Everything broke down, but we still got to fight like an old married couple. Without further ado, that's stupid. Why would I say that? I know exactly why I would say that. Never mind. May I present to you the Eucharist? I've never.
He's super creepy. I don't know. Okay, 20 years ago when I was
that him specifically.
Yeah, when I was living where you're living.
Yeah.
I was my friend Christy Martin was this like hilarious, awesome, like super buxom blonde, like Pamela Anderson type person.
Okay. Yeah.
And we were playing at the Viper Room. I think it was loaded.
Hell yeah.
And
that's probably crazy to play with Duff on the strip. That must be insane.
I've always said if you have to move to Los Angeles, if you have to live in LA, try and make sure you're in a band with one of the guys from Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like the gold standard.
Yeah, you get treated a lot differently, I'm sure.
There's just a little bit better. A little bit better than not being in a band with one of the guys. And if you can swing it, it's even better if the guy in Guns N' Roses wears either a top hat or has the red braids. Because as we learned from Postal Service, there's no blonde guys in Guns N' Roses.
Is it still going on your side?
Yeah.
Jesus, the whole time.
We all know who Guns N' Roses is. Axl / the guy with the top hat, Buckethead. So anytime Katie and I are like, can't think of a name or can't think of I was like, what is it? It's just it's Axl / Buckethead and the guy with the top hat. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, he's playing a show up there pretty soon, isn't he?
He is, and can we all take a moment of silence and thanks and just, all around gratefulness that Mike Squires will once again be on stage.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Have you seen him a lot lately, though? You went to that Smoosh thing?
A lot.
Yeah.
I almost went by his house yesterday.
Lucky.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, we were at it was great because the Smash. Oh, I didn't go to Smoosh. Smoosh.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I went to Smash. And they're different.
They are. It's so weird, right?
It's like you couldn't come up with something a little different. Maybe they wanted to be kind of. Maybe if the people get them confused, we'll be more popular quicker. But yeah,
both great causes too.
What? Yeah,
yeah,
totally. Yeah, dead babies and broke musicians, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, that's not funny.
No,
that's not funny.
My wife, when we first were dating, like on our first date, she told me a joke, and it was kind of cemented our entire relationship. She said, "What did God give the death baby for Christmas?"
What?
Cancer.
Yeah.
This has. I'm trying to think of how to bring it into the Eucharist.
Are we doing the Eucharist?
Yeah.
God bless America.
You're gonna be pissed.
Well, I know it like the back of my hand.
You're gonna be
but what I'm gonna be pissed on? I bet in no place. Are we gonna do? Can we do?
Yeah, actually, I wonder. That's open for me. I wonder if I can send that to you. Let me.
There you go. Actual recording is higher.
Can be.
What? It can be.
Just-
I already did it, man. Fucking Tomahawk wasn't fucking around. Tomahawk wasn't pixelated. Tomahawk wasn't cutting out, motherfucker.
We analog, bitches.
Kuka!
That's right.
Oh, fucking
20.
right in, huh? Surely you don't mean me, Rabbi.
Oh, yeah. We're going in. Are you Matthew 26, 26?
Yeah, I am. Now you're back to being shitty.
Well, luckily the recording's good. So
Yeah. All right. Let's just
maybe I
let's
won't talk that much.
let's soldier. And you don't talk so much.
Hey, listen in the interviews. Maybe sit in the background.
Yeah, you know what I'm. Oh, babe. No, it's 26. Can we back up just a little bit?
Yeah. Where do you want to go from?
To just to the top of the Last Supper, 17.
Oh, man. Sure. If you want to read all of that.
Yeah. On the first day of the festival of unleavened bread, the disciples came to Jesus and asked, "Where do you want us to make preparations for you to eat the Passover?" He replied, "Go into the city to a certain man and tell him, the teacher says, my appointed time is near. I am going to celebrate the Passover with my disciples at your house." And the guy said, "Oh, at my house? Oh, cool. No, of course. You're more than welcome. God, oh, Jesus Christ." So the disciples did as Jesus had directed them and prepared the Passover. When evening came, Jesus was reclining in his lazy boy. He had his remote control in hand and his dinner table. His what? That's not what it says.
Was this the 1940s?
When evening came, Jesus was reclining at the table with the 12. And while they were eating, he said, "Truly I tell you, one of you will betray me." They were very sad and began to say to him one after the other, "Surely you don't mean me, Lord." Jesus replied, "The one who has dipped his hand into the bowl with me will betray me. The Son of Man will go just as it is written about him. But woe to that man who betrays the Son of Man. It would be better for him if he had not been born." Then Judas, the one who would betray him, said, "Surely you don't mean me, Rabbi." Jesus answered, "You have said so." While they were eating, Jesus took bread, and when he had given thanks, he broke it and gave it to his disciples, saying, "Take and eat. This is my body." Well, and I want everyone to realize that there is nothing written after that about taking it and eating it. All he says is, "This is my body."
Here,
then
in the Matthews, yeah.
Then he took a cup, and when he had given thanks, he gave it to them, saying, "Drink from it, all of you. This is my blood of the new covenant, which is poured out for many for the forgiveness of sins. I tell you, I will not drink from this fruit of the vine from now on until the day when I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom." Wow, that eats a big bag of dicks, everyone. So the thing that I was the most concerned was, so in the Catholic Mass, they say, "Take this, all of you, and eat it. This is my body." Oh, no, I guess this is what it says. I didn't think the covenant was in here, but it is, so it's part of the Bible, and I was kind of mad about that. But, what's fun, "Do this in memory of me," not in here anywhere. "Which is poured out for many for the forgiveness of sins." When they had sung a hymn, they went out to the Mount of Olives. That's it. Matthew 26. That's the whole Last Supper. But that's the covenant. That's the Eucharist. That's the whole fucking ballgame. That's the thing they make such a big deal out of it. Let's go to Mark. Matthew, let's call it what? 13? See if I was my compadre Leif, I would know, but I don't because I'm not. Here he comes.
Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you are correct.
That's your Riverside.
Uploading 0%. There we go. It's ready to go.
0, that's not enough.
It's not.
It's super hard, but we just gotta ignore it, right?
Yeah.
So hold on, I just went to math. I just was trying to go to Mark because I was so disgusted in how short that was.
They all
But
are.
I was like, but I can't find it because I'm not Leif. I don't know. Teacher. 26, as you say?
Yeah, we were on 26. We stopped
26.
about 27.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I did this, but let's do it one more time. Then he took a cup, and when he had given thanks, he gave it to them, saying, "Drink from it, all of you. This is my blood of the." There's a little insignia there. You click on it, and it says, some manuscripts say, the new. This is my blood of the new covenant, which is poured out for many for the forgiveness of sins. I tell you, I will not drink from this fruit of the vine from now on until the day when I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom. When they had sung a hymn, they went out to the Mount of Olives.
I mean, that makes me feel like it's coming quick. Homeboy isn't even going to drink wine again until he's doing it with them.
Well, that means they're about to fucking pike him, right?
Yeah, and that they're probably going to be with him soon. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, exactly.
Well, I don't read that it's going to be immediate. I just mean that just sounds to me like he knows he's going to die. He will see him again on the other side.
But he's saying he won't even drink this wine again until they're
right,
there.
because he's going to die.
Yeah,
but it doesn't mean that. Doesn't mean you're saying you think it means expediency.
Well, a lot of this gospel, if you it seems to be like the kingdom of heaven is coming soon.
Yeah, but what do you think?
I think the text says that. It's annoying. I think it's one of the things that made me lose my faith.
Dan says the text doesn't say anything.
Well, yeah, sure. That's you asked me what I think, and I just answered you. It's just like
well, no,
if you were to read this over and over again, I feel like we kind of are, But if we were to go to all the verses, you'd be like, "Oh, that's interesting," because Jesus says sometimes like, "Some of you aren't even going to die before the kingdom of heaven comes,"
Right.
So there does seem to be this seems to be another kind of little nudge towards that shit's going to happen quickly. The end is nigh. But, I'm a homeschooled stoner, so...
Yeah. How bad would they have beaten you if you started being a stoner while you were being homeschooled?
Oh, I would have been kicked out of the house. There was like the things you think you would get kicked out of the house for. That was, that was
on the top of the list.
They were you're not allowed. You basically can't really be a sinner and under my parents' roof. No, I love my parents, but I'm
not. It's like not bad mouthing your parents. I think it's funny that where in the Bible does it say you're not allowed to smoke weed?
Well, it's pretty tricky. There are, because Jesus is coming back soon. There's all these verses about don't be caught with your dick in your hands, kind of like you should be about the Lord's work. One of them specifically says, don't be drunk with wine, because that's how soon it's coming. You should be talking to your neighbor, walking to another city and village, talking to them about Jesus. You're supposed to be, so any type of disassociation or what's that called?
Consciousness expanding.
Yeah, that kind of shit's taking away from you spending time talking about the gospel, so it's bad.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not actually. You regained your faith. by
isn't that weird?
doing just that. So
exactly.
thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad.
Oops.
Yep.
Yeah. But right, it's so. But the other thing is if you remember Genesis 1, it says that God created everything, including weeds and plants. So
for us. It says for us.
Fundamentalists have a pretty good argument though, because that's before the fall. So they say then Adam and Eve ate the fruit,
air quotes the
and
fall.
then there's evil comes on the earth because of that. So like weeds become bad.
Yeah, whatever, man.
I agree.
Don't give me fundamentalist bullshit.
Yeah, I will. Isn't it? So you read the rest of this and saw how small it was, huh?
It's over. Then we get back to what we've already done.
Yeah.
We've already done Peter in the denial. Oh, God, I sneeze.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
It's all of them are this short, too. Professional.
But let's do them all, okay? If they're short, let's do them all.
Yeah.
So what's the
even
next
one in Corinthians? Mark 14. 14:22.
Yeah. Okay. So
Okay.
I'm going to go for it from 12 because I want to just get the whole supper in because I'm fucking hungry. Hey, y'all, man, if we have a little dance of your food.
We should note, though, that's making all of them. There's two more significantly longer. And not that we shouldn't read it, just that's how short all the Eucharist or the
two more significantly longer what?
The passages, all of them in the Gospels are like you've seen 2 to 4 verses. Like it's very, like it's a huge event, obviously, and I think maybe they do it justice. But
on the first day of the festival of unleavened bread, when it was customary to sacrifice the Passover lamb, Jesus' disciple asked him, "Where do you want us to go and make preparations for you to eat the Passover?" So he sent 2 of his disciples, telling them, "Go into the city, and a man carrying a jar of water will meet you." It's kind of vague, Savior.
He controls everything.
Dude, it took us like 7 guys with a jar of water to figure out which one was. Yeah.
Jebediah to suck a dick.
Follow him. Say to the owner of the house he enters, the teacher asks, "Where is my guest room? Where may I eat the Passover with my disciples?" He will show you a large room upstairs, furnished and ready. Make preparations for us there. Oh, Jesus, another goddamn guy with disciples. And you just got to be ready for luckily this one was the one, because it happened like a dozen times already. He'd already, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that month.
Every Passover, it's the same thing. Bunch of dirty hippies. The disciples left, went into the city, and found things just as Jesus had told them. So they prepared the Passover. When evening came, Jesus arrived with the 12. When they were reclining at the table eating, he said, "Truly I tell you, one of you will betray me, one who is eating with me." They were saddened, and one by one they said to him, "Surely you don't mean me." "It is one of the 12," he replied, "one who dips bread into the bowl with me." So they were having like a Philly cheesesteaks, a little dip, little French dip, a little Western dip.
It's a bread bowl, really.
They were saying they were sharing the ajos. It was delicious.
You try his Worcestershire.
Nothing I like better than some Passover ajos. What just happened?
This is fun blasphemy. See,
yeah.
well, we're talking about Olive Garden level blasphemy. I think everyone can get down with that.
I do love the Alfredo sauce.
It's so good.
One of you who shares my Alfredo, you'll betray me. The Son of Man will go just as it is written about him. But woe to the man who betrays the Son of Man. It would be better for him if he had not been born. While they were eating, Jesus took bread, and when he had given thanks, he broke it and gave it to his disciples, saying, "Take it. This is my body." That's it. Then he took a cup, and when he had given thanks, he gave it to them, and they all drank from it. This is my blood of the covenant, which is poured out for many. He said to them, truly I tell you, I will not drink again from the fruit of the vine until the day when I drink it new in the kingdom of God. When they had sung a hymn, they went out to Mount Olives. See, this one he doesn't say with you.
Oh, so I was just kind of fucked me up a little bit. Yeah.
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 Okay, what's the next one?
Luke.
Luke.
Oh, wait. Yeah, there's Luke. Excuse me. Luke 22:19.
No, 19.
Knees.
Wait, you were telling me that, weren't you? That's somebody's password or something?
No, it's Davidson. Zach Davidson. You know how you have to give like 5 ASCAP names in case one of them were taken?
Right. That's right. Yeah. That's awesome.
He's so fucking funny.
That's great. Dan Kempthorne from the Briefs and Green Apple Quickstep.
Oh, yeah.
His is Back in Brown music. Yeah. Fucking perv. Okay, let's go Luke 22. Then came the day of unleavened bread on which the Passover lamb had to be sacrificed. Jesus sent Peter and John, saying, go and make preparations for us to eat Passover. Where do you want us to prepare for it? They asked. He replied, as you enter the city, a man carrying a jar of water will meet you. Follow him to the house that he enters, and say to the owner of the house, the teacher asks, where's the guest room where I may eat the Passover with my disciples? He will show you a large room upstairs, all furnished. Make preparations there. They left and found things just as Jesus had told them.
Magic.
So they prepared the Passover. When the hour came, Jesus and his apostles reclined at the table. He said to them, I have eagerly desired to eat this Passover with you.
Wow.
Before I suffer.
Wow. Ooh.
Plot
twist.
Eagerly.
This is a different rendering.
Eagerly I will. For I tell you, I will not eat again until it finds fulfillment in the kingdom of God. What? He's going to be hungry. After taking the cup. Wait. Okay. After taking the cup, he gave thanks and said, take this and to divide it among you. For I tell you, I will not drink again from the fruit of the vine until the kingdom of God comes. And he took bread, gave thanks, and broke it, gave it to them, saying, this is my body, given for you. Do this in remembrance of me. Okay, there's the Catholic version.
Yeah, it gets more Catholic coming up, too.
In the same way, after the supper, he took the cup, saying, this is the covenant in my blood, which is poured out for you by the hand of him who is going to betray me. But the hand of him who is going to betray me is with mine on the table. The Son of Man will go as it has been declared, but woe to that man who betrays him. They began to question among themselves which it might be that would do this. A dispute also arose among them as to which of them was considered to be the greatest. Jesus said to them, the kings of the Gentiles lord it over them, and those who exercise authority over them call themselves benefactors. But you are not to be like that. Instead, the greatest among you should be like the youngest, and the one who rules like the one who serves. For who is greater, the one who is at the table or the one who serves? It is not the one who is at the table. Is it not the one who is at the table? But I am among you as one who serves. You are those who have stood by me in my trials, and I confer on you a kingdom, just as my Father conferred on me, so that you may eat and drink at my table in my kingdom and sit on thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
You
never heard that part before.
You went so far. you went, and I loved it. I was like, that was like listening to Johnny Cash read the Bible. I was all entranced and shit. But because we just did a lot more than the Eucharist, but I actually think that shit's really good. I mean,
Well,
holy
that's
shit.
still they haven't left the place yet. That's still the Eucharist.
Yeah. Well, no, the body and the blood parts, I guess. So, but like, isn't that shit? That's kind of rad. Is I guess what I was getting at? Isn't it like the Lord of the fucking universe is a servant? That's interesting. That's like,
well, and this is like something you never like. This is the speech, like, because this like, oh, I guess it betrays me. Yeah, no, but like that's a long 24. It's a mouthful. That's a lot.
The
And
run-on
he's-
of
and he's
run-ons.
just- What's that?
The run-on of run-on sentences.
No, I just mean as far as like, you don't hear them. You don't hear the Catholics or the Christians. You don't hear a lot of people saying who's more important, the server or the served or the servant. I'm the servant.
Big thing in the Baptist stuff.
Yeah.
But I think it's kind of good.
Mm.
I think all of that shit you read past the Eucharist is like rad, and I guess that's why like I'm still like a Jesus fuck boys, because every once in a while there's this cool shit in there that like that, you know what I'm saying? Some reason gets down in this jaded heart of mine.
I will concur that 24 is the first time, and it also sounds like 24 is the first time Jesus is actually saying, I'm the fucking guy. That dude's my fucking guy. He fucking, you know what I mean? He put me here, and I'm saying, you guys do right, and you guys will be the kings of Israel.
Yeah, kind of interesting. There's 12 too. They're going to judge 12 of them.
Yeah,
because Judas is there. I mean, there's an even more specific reference to that. Cooler. But there is more on this Eucharist.
Yeah, I think you mean
we're
like
moving
John?
Out. No, it's 1 Corinthians. This is
we didn't do John.
John doesn't really have it. It has something. Let's see. No, I could. Yeah.
The blood of the new and everlasting covenant. You know, I haven't seen the word everlasting in one of these fucking. But that's okay, because Father McGinnis, he would take liberties anyway. And I asked my dad about it one time. He didn't like it either.
The term Eucharist isn't explicitly used in the Gospel of John as it is in some other parts of the New Testament. However, there are passages in the Gospel of John that some Christian traditions interpret as referencing the symbolic and metaphorical to the Eucharist or communion, such as Jesus describing himself as the bread of life in John 6:35. So John didn't really, I guess.
So we're in the Corinthians.
Well, let me. I just want to cross. It's weird that I do this and get a stage fright because I've been up since.
What do you mean?
5:30.
You mean stage fright?
Trying to answer these questions, like
questions.
Well, it's I get any question you might have about this shit. What are you talking about? I already told you. I do 100% preparing for like 1%. We just talk about farts. I think it's more fun. I'm not gonna...
And then I just glaze right over the part. You're like, I know he's going to ask me about this one.
I've almost exclusively been wrong. Yeah. it's like a, yeah. But let's see. The Gospel of John have the
Oh yeah. Hey, and just ironically, so
yeah, that's crazy. Oh, sorry. What were you saying?
I was just going to say that Christ was here last night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and apparently he
what did? Not sure what's happening. Oh, that is his thing. I don't know if you know this, but that's his thing.
It's kind of my thing, you know.
I'm still obsessed with Family Guy, you know.
Yeah.
There was an episode on the other night that, like, it's like Jesus in the Last Supper, but it's him and the 12 going to like a restaurant, and they're sit down and they're all like laughing and giggling. And he's like, shut up. And they're like, will you guys be ordering any drinks? And they're all like, just water.
One cup of wine, please.
Fucking yeah, so fucking funny.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome.
Yeah, this is kind of fun to bump into a Pauline epistle too.
Watch your language. Come on.
That's what they say. It's like Claptonian guitar playing. You know what I'm saying? This is a Pauline epistle.
What are we talking about? Where are we?
Oh, 1 Corinthians 11:17.
Oh, sorry, that's Romans.
Ugh.
11, you say?
11:17. This one actually, scholars think was written by Paul, by the way. Because like about half of his books were pseudepigraphy. You're still skeptical,
cool.
hippo
Whatever.
face. You're like,
What-
I ain't
what-
buying it.
What are those guys' names?
Dan McClellan would say it, I bet. Like it's all the naysayers too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he didn't. I'm just saying
There's
fucking
like
prove
6 of the books that
I'm not saying he didn't. I'm just saying prove it. Fucking prove it. How about one fucking reference?
Hey, it's
one
God real.
guy's
Fucking
name.
prove it, okay,
Dude.
Fucking prove it.
It's just that easy. Look, you know what? I see a lot of pictures coming back from that fucking telescope.
Some of us think that's rude. Maybe that's rude to the thing.
Some of us think that's rude.
That's rude.
Look, what are you,
If
scientist?
God's real, isn't that mean?
Look, if God's real, isn't that mean? Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
Thank
Good
you.
stuff. That's top shelf. Look, if God's real, he's going to be mad. He's going to be really
Well,
mad.
I don't know if it's a he though. You know what I'm saying? I think it's outside that shit too.
Okay, correcting an abuse of the Lord's Supper. And this is Corinthians. So this is Paul,
Who's Paul, the apostle,
the rich kid,
the guy we don't like. Yeah,
the rich kid who never met
Yeah, the
Jesus.
bitch. Yeah,
He was not an apostle. He never hung out with the apostles.
He did hang out with the apostles. They rebuked him. He had a couple. In fact, he writes about in many of his books his Christian opponents, which is probably him alluding to Peter and James, the brother of Jesus.
And he also he used to be a heretic?
He used to be a Pharisee.
A Pharisee.
And kill fucking. He was supposedly at the stoning of this martyr named Stephen. But yeah, he was like known.
He martyred Stephen. He was there from Stephen's.
He was in. Yeah, I think so. Where is
Just kidding.
that?
I have no idea what that is. Really? Oh,
Well,
he
it's
was
cool
fucking
because
Stephen.
Stephen doesn't feel it. An angel comes and wraps his arms around him. God just takes him to heaven. No pain.
I'm gonna guess Stephen fucking felt the rocks.
I'm gonna guess it was a bad day for Stephen.
I'm gonna guess not his favorite
I
day.
think someone made up that story to make him feel better about
Maybe
what they saw.
the very last part of that day was okay for him, but the first part,
Yeah.
hot mess.
As soon
Dumpster
as
fire.
one big enough got on the head,
Yeah.
it's gonna be. He was
Bing!
totally fine, but up until then,
And honestly, I'm thinking that first rock was the angel. The first rock shot on the head. He's like, oh shit! He's like,
slingshot from 20 feet behind the crowd.
he's a
Just like,
concussion. He's concussed, and he felt the angels and the wings. They were just there's actually more stones. Yeah. Oh, these stones now feel like wings wrapping around me, taking me to heaven.
See, this is the kind of sacrilege everyone can get behind. This is hilarious. See?
Yeah.
We're not offending everyone, so you should calm down with your fucking comments.
Are there a lot of comments?
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Fuck you, punks.
Some of them are good. A lot of them are really good, but yeah. Don't
Okay.
engage is really what I've learned.
Okay.
Yeah.
Correcting an abuse of the Lord's Supper. In the following directives, I have no praise for you, for your meetings do more harm than good. In the first place, I hear that when you come together as a church, there are divisions among you, and to some extent, I believe it.
Oof.
No doubt there have to be differences among you to show which of you have God's approval. So then, when you come together, it is not the Lord's Supper you eat. For when you are eating, some of you go ahead with your own private suppers. As a result, one person remains hungry and another gets drunk. Don't you have homes to eat and drink in? Or do you despise the church of God by humiliating those who have nothing?
Gnarly.
What a cunt.
Yeah, it was because churches would meet at night. So because all these people had jobs, and so whoever got there first was eating and drinking all the shit. No one else. Yeah. Getting wasted at church.
Come on. What shall I say to you? Shall I praise you? Certainly not in this matter. For I received from the Lord what I also passed on to you. The Lord Jesus, on the night he was betrayed, took bread. And when he had given thanks, he broke it and said, "This is my body, which is for you. Do this in remembrance of me." In the same way, after supper, he took the cup, saying, "This cup is the new covenant in my blood. Do this whenever you drink it in remembrance of me. For whenever you eat this bread and drink this cup, you proclaim the Lord's death until he comes. So then, whoever eats the bread or drinks the cup of the Lord in an what?
Is this more familiar than the other ones to you?
A little
this
bit,
is the
yeah.
one we would read.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Am I supposed to keep going?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah. So then, whoever eats the bread or drinks the cup of the Lord in an unworthy manner will be guilty of sinning against the body and blood of the Lord.
Big deal.
So if you take the Eucharist and you haven't been through what do you call it? Not confession or communion, or where you confirm that you're a Catholic or a Christian.
What's confirmation?
Confirmation.
Probably baptism, probably. Or
so if you baptize, you can drink it.
I think it might be cool. I think it might be even deeper than that. I feel like he addresses it here because because the problem is obviously some people come to church and get wasted. Yeah, keep going.
Everyone ought to examine themselves before they eat of the bread and drink of the cup. For those who eat and drink without discerning the body of Christ eat and drink judgment on themselves. That is why many among you are weak and sick as fuck, and a number and a number of you
flip. That was sick.
and a number of you have fallen asleep. But if we were more discerning with regard to ourselves, we would not come under such judgment. Nevertheless, when we are judged in this way by the Lord, we are being disciplined so that we will not be finally condemned with this world. So then, my brothers and sisters, when you gather to eat, you should all eat together. Anyone who is hungry should eat something at home, so that when you meet together, it may not result in judgment. And when I come, I will give further directions. All right. Well, he's trying to, shore it all up there, apparently.
I think it's kind of rad. And this wasn't all of what I was hoping for, but there's a lot of verses like, if you have offended your brother, leave your sacrifice at the altar and go fix that first. And it's like,
for whatever you do to the least of my brother, that you do unto me. And stuff
and shit. But it's kind of rad. And like to have it, because in that religion, sacrifice is the most important thing there is. That's what gets you right with God. And here, church is important to these people. And like maintaining like quality and fairness in the community seem to be kind of important. Hey, let everyone, don't go there just to get drunk. Like you're taking all the wine and food for yourself and leaving nothing for every. Like it's supposed to be a community, you know. I think it's kind of beautiful. It makes me mad, like a little bit, you know, because like complicates my feelings on the Bible.
Already complicated feelings.
I think that shit rules. I mean, if we had something like every time there was once a month before band practice, where if someone hurt your feelings or vice versa or something, you had to go fucking talk it out. You don't think a lot of fucking drama would be saved with that kind of, you know? It's like it seems rad for society, possibly to like.
Is that what this says?
Yeah, kind of, right? He's like,
don't.
You can't partake in the Eucharist unless, like, therefore, whoever eats this bread and Jesus unworthy manner will be guilty.
Everyone ought to examine themselves before they eat. For those who eat without discerning, judge themselves. So, like, that's why
he's talking. See, even here, he's like, it'll kill you. This is kind of drastic.
It'll kill you.
Some sleep.
That is why many of you are awake and have fallen asleep. Like that. That's
it's dead. Like someone who just died. You know. Well, because they believe life's eternal, so it's like in the body they've fallen asleep. But since the Kingdom of God's going to be here,
okay. Well, I get
so high.
I get the part where I like the part where he's like everyone should be solid with themselves before they, you know, like partake. That's not entirely. That's a pretty good universal truth, actually.
Right? You see,
like before you hit the tomahawk, you should be solid with yourself, or you're gonna have a bad trip.
Right, 100%. That's actually the secret to it. That's why I eat 700 milligrams of shit.
Well, and also, like, I wonder if this is like kind of ripped off from the mystics, where you know you have to do the whole preparation before you get the dose. You have to be, you have to like cleanse literally.
Yeah, think about how important ritual must have been back then. You know, there's no TV, there's no one reads, so it's like how if it's that embedded in the culture, you gotta think it's easier for those things to transmit to other. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Well, it just compared to today, where you can barely get anyone to show up for fucking anything except like a Black Friday sale, like ritual back then, everyone would have been practicing these things constantly. So, like, of course, over the years, they're going to borrow from everyone, and you know,
God, it's a horrible time to be alive.
It's it's pretty weird. I'm not excited about the presidential debate, but I'm more used to.
Wait, what?
I dipped into politics and I got out. I think we should.
Why did you do that? How did you do that? What were you?
Because I said words, and before I thought about them, and they came out of my face hole, and we're already offensive enough. We stay away from politics. I like being able to just say whatever we think about the Bible.
Yeah,
that seems to be the way to do it, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
you can say anything you want about anything, motherfucker.
I know, but I'm not. I spend all day reading the Bible, so I don't know.
Who are you? What about what presidential debate? Which one?
No. Let's. I don't want to. No, let's not. No, we're in the Eucharist.
No. Don't make me.
Take 2 steps back. No, like,
dude, we're fucked.
This is.
Look, the choice we have, and it's like this is what's hilarious. Is like people will get mad.
These are bad, by the way.
People will get mad.
Jeez.
People will get mad for me saying like. The people on either side will get mad for me saying how shitty the choice is. No, it doesn't matter. You got to vote for that old guy because that old white guy, the other old white guy is the worst thing that ever happened to the old white guy community.
Fucking my aunts are awesome. They're fucking rad. My mom's family. Yeah. And one of them is the coolest aunt in the world. Like, it's crazy. I've never not gotten a birthday card from her. I'm 41. You know, she's amazing.
$41 this year.
Very liberal.
Yeah.
And very awesome. And we were talking the other day, and she's like, you might have to prepare yourself for Trump actually being the best candidate. And I was like, oh my God, you my liberal
dude. Here's the deal. Okay, like we're living an upside down world.
100%.
Like it's funny that
Look at all the pop stars look like shit. No one can sing and no one cares. Everyone just uses auto-tune. No one cares. Milli Vanilli got canceled for that shit.
Yeah.
Right? And now, I mean, that's me trying to steer us away from politics because you and I are going to go upside down in it.
It's just upside down world, man.
Well, that's cool because maybe we can interpret these scriptures in a way that'll actually bring peace and harmony.
I'm not a big fan of interpretation.
Unfortunately, just like Homeboy says, it's like that's all we got, dude. There ain't no meaning to this. These words have been left here.
Yeah.
We're trying to figure out what it means.
Well, I feel like it's one of those video games where some of the clues you were just supposed to disregard.
Oh, I don't. Yeah. I
feel like this book.
It's kind of confusing. Huh?
I would have just ditched it. Nah, this isn't important. Let's find another book. I'm sure there's another book around here somewhere. Yeah. But that's just me.
But what about this section? Like that is a pretty cool way to deal with a bunch of human beings working together, being together. Yeah. Like make sure everyone's having a good time.
No, I sign off on that.
And the Lord of the Universe being a servant, that promotes servanthood.
I have no problem with that. My problem is the people who got a hold of this book and what they've done with it. That's my problem. You've already said nobody reads it, so how can it be such a great thing if no one reads it?
Well,
you know what I mean, like if they don't,
I should revisit this. There was what's his name? Maybe Irenaeus. There's been scholars that have lived throughout time that are like insanely important, and one of them literally cut off his dick to spend more, so like he could preach to more women. And he would spend like 17 hours a day. He would like never sleep because he was always mm-hmm. This isn't a
fact check.
That was fucking there's a lot of them. I can't remember. Irenaeus, Justin Martyr, Origen is like the big one. It might even be him. But one of these crazy scholars. There's been so many humans that have devoted like 30, 40 years of all of their life power to the understanding. They've literally changed the landscape. So it's
that's cool.
Yeah, it's if you were to go hang out in different circles, I feel like you'd be like, oh shit. It's because people read the Bible, but they read it like this. They open up this Corinthians and they read a section just like that. We did, like, not very much, maybe half a chapter. And then they sit around talking about what it means. And, there's people that are obsessed with this. And I know the church has a mass exodus, but I think it's kind of maybe, unfortunately, and to my utter like surprise and chagrin, gaining shit tons of popularity
at the same time as a mass exodus.
Well, have you seen? Yeah, we live in the upside down. Have you seen how many Kat Von D just converted to Christianity and is only talking about Jesus?
Didn't know that.
Kat Von D is like, I'm on fire for Jesus Christ. She just got baptized. Celebrity, you know why? Because Trump figured this out. It's the middle of the fucking country. There's a lot more people there. And all you have to do is say something nice about Jesus. And
there's not a lot more. There's not a lot more, but there are a lot.
Unrepresented by mass media is what they feel. So all you have to do, you can keep living. There's like rappers now converting. It's really weird.
It's really transparent. Weird. Yeah. It's not weird. It's personal gain. I don't know. I'm not going to tell. Well, okay.
They want money. I mean, and whatever. We have a Bible podcast.
So that's not really. That's not really a. That's not really something that goes on your side of the scale for this thing gaining traction if you're saying that they're just doing it to gain popularity.
Well,
Just-
I say that because I've read the book, and we're here. You know, that's a pretty verbose comment I'm making, right? But just because I've been reading this book all day, every day, my whole life, and I would say that if to call yourself a Christian, there's like some criteria in here that if you're not living by it, you're going to be going to hell, according to the book. So it's like a lot of that has to do with money, status, fame, and like giving to the poor, you know? So since
Yeah, maybe. But the other thing is, what about the lions and tigers that eat gazelles? Are they going to go to hell?
yeah,
I'm sorry?
yeah. First of all, I don't think animals have souls, according to the Bible. I wonder. I don't. I just pulled that out of my ass from Sunday school, just because I wanted to say something even worse. But yeah, I was taught that as a kid. It sucked.
So, what's your dog's name?
Hell, she's from hell. That thing is the devil. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she has no soul.
See, I disagree, man. I don't. You know.
What? I'm asking you. That was a question.
Well, I thought you were at. Oh yeah, we're getting deep. I think all animals have souls, but I was taught in my Sunday
okay.
school they don't.
Well, let's deal with what you believe, not with what you were taught.
Well, I'm just having too much fun talking to you. See.
What's wrong? Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just kind of high and going everywhere. I'm trying to like count my words so I can like not talk as much. Sorry, people. I just get pumped. So yeah. Well, but yeah, I mean, I guess we can see how the abuse of this book would happen. All this shit's tiny.
It's all what?
Like the abuse of this book's so easy because all the references to everything are just fucking small. There's not much to it. Like, look at the Eucharist. Like, again, in the Gospels, it's like, burp. You know, the temptation of Christ is like, burp. Everything's like, burp.
Yeah. It's ready to be exaggerated.
Yeah, it works really well for it too.
Yeah. Yeah.
We haven't even brought up the psychedelic wine shit, which is my whole belief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anywhere in the Bible that talks about psychedelic wine?
No, just here. I mean, that's what they would say. And by the way, this is so hotly debated. Like, even saying this is still like people just hate you, and it's like Graham Hancock shit instantly. But I think it's here would be, you know, the turning of water to wine. That could have been something with it, but Jesus is, you know, synonymously attached to it pretty much everywhere.
What, the psychedelic wine?
Just wine. So that's interesting.
Oh, so anytime wine comes into a ritual, that may or may not be a nod to.
Yeah, and what they have found is like in Christian churches close to ish this time, it was found in vases, and like even as far as fucking like Spain, you know. So early Christian circles where it seems like there's enough evidence mounting. I mean, Harvard just opened a whole wing about it. So early Christian circles were fucking getting high.
Okay, well, let's move on.
No, we already read it all. That's it.
Oh,
yeah. No, that's what I was recapping.
Gotcha.
Yeah, unless you want to keep. Nah, I will read it.
Well, that was challenging to get through, though. We fucking had some technical difficulties, and maybe you don't even need to say that because Riverside's so bitchin'.
I like Riverside a lot, yeah, but that was rough, and I'm glad it's working out. It's going to be hell for me because.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. It's like anyway, that's fine. Yeah, I think it's kind of comforting though to read through this with you and watch you go through and me go through waves and levels of frustration. It's made me feel not so alone because like people's opinions of this book There's this a comedian named Taylor Thomason that I love, and she's young and like she has this joke about like when you watch people get into Jesus or God, when you've lost your faith, it's like kind of like watching someone like your shitty ex get it together for like a friend. You know, like it's like the same thing. They're like, God's so great. God isn't God great? And she's like, no, God's a douchebag. I'm butchering her bit. I might even have to edit this up because it's that funny. Because it's that fucking funny.
With the link in the link
with
in
the
bio.
link in the bio, but fucking, to watch you react to these verses with that kind of, like what the fuck, it makes me feel not so alone. Is what I'm getting at.
Oh, I'm glad. Yeah, it's like well, I don't know. I'm just I guess it wasn't the worst way. I wasn't doing anything at 7:30 every Sunday morning for my whole fucking upbringing anyway. It's not other than sleeping. All I would have been doing was sleeping. So it's not like it kept me from doing other things I would have been doing at that time. So, but I could have done without the guilt.
Yeah,
I could have used it with a little more sex education.
Yeah.
So I would have been so horrible at it for the first 9 years.
Yeah.
But whatever, I do appreciate like reading through it with you and like kind of, I don't know, these things, like it's so, you never get to own it. It's like, it's all, you're always the child of the church you grew up in. You're never like, oh, now I am not the church, but like now I get to make my own decision about this. You're always constantly being told that you need to be subservient, even mentally.
Yeah.
And
people
it's
freak
nice
out
to
when they leave too, right? Like a Rahmspringer. Like have you ever had friends do that?
I don't know what that. Oh, is that's the Amish people when they leave?
Yeah, it's like people want to be told, like you've brought up so eloquently many times. People want to be told what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's sad. But again, I don't know. Maybe logic has a way in this and with this. Maybe we're not through the book yet. We're not through yet.
You always, you show such promise, and then you go in there, there's some logic in there, huh? Like, no, there's no logic in there. The whole idea.
That might be it. There might be. I do think this is a pure chaos. This book is fucking crazy.
Maybe there's logic. It's pure chaos. Would you fucking...
No. We're going to bring logic. Just talking about it with
logic.
We're going to bring logic. Literally new.
No, we can't. We can't because the logic we brought is exactly what Dan says. There's no meaning to this other than what you blow into it. And I think that's the... And like, I'm sorry, who was our guy that came on who was awesome?
Kevin Whitmore.
Kevin, same thing. It's
amazing.
Like, whatever you think.
Yeah.
That's what I like about reading this with you is like, there is no blasphemy because these are just fucking words and there's no like, the epic of the blasphemy police, long gone. We live in a country where we can say whatever the fuck we want about this and no one's going to come shoot us.
That's pretty cool.
Because
right?
they're just words.
Yeah.
They're just words and there's no meaning inherent in them. And that's the logic that I'm hoping
I don't
bring to this.
I don't think you
know what I mean? Like, what?
Like if there would have been a podcast I could have found when I was evangelical and enjoyed, and people would talk just rationally, like bring up facts and data, that would have helped me immensely. It would have saved me a lot of years.
I don't have a problem with people like really getting into this guy, but fucking read the book, man. Educate yourselves because you're allowed to. Nobody can keep you from doing that. You know what I mean? Like, dude, what I was thinking before was like, if you'd have smoked pot and they'd have kicked you out of the house, how bad would that have been? You raised yourself anyway.
God, yeah, actually,
you know what I mean? It's like so.
Like had so many small businesses.
Well, yeah, you'd be like a mogul by now, right?
I'd probably die of some weird addiction because I had too much money.
maybe, but
Yeah.
but the point is that like, had you
Pay everyone.
gotten to a place where you could think for yourself and you were allowed to have your own thoughts, how bad would that have been?
Well, yeah, it would have
You
been
know what?
beautiful, I think. Well, but,
Yeah.
I really like my life now, but this, there's people all around the world tuning in for some reason, and this book.
I'm so
right?
sorry. I'm so sorry,
No,
people.
they,
I hope
whatever. They
it's
listen to the end. The people over there listen to the whole thing.
yeah.
So, like, it's religion resonates with all of us in a certain way, in a certain thing, and to like see this for reading it now is so fucking surreal for me. It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's so weird. I wonder what it'll be like in 2024.
That's
Reading this
that's like a month from now.
Yeah, I know. I wonder if we find out like a mothership comes, Trump like takes off his mask, shows he's an
No one
alien.
cares about the fucking mothership coming.
Yeah,
No one cares about
it's
shit,
right
man.
there. We don't
Well,
know
yeah,
what's happening.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. What if all this bullshit that everyone's like about is real in 2024?
Oh no, it's already real. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think that it's so funny. It's you were talking about your aunt saying that Trump might be the best candidate.
That was so scary for me.
Well, it's a really scary thought because
Yeah.
while there's, and this is not necessarily political. It's like the problem is that it's sort of like this book where this book has a very specific dogma that the people who push this book have a very specific dogma that if they go outside their lane too far, people will call them out. Their followers will call them out, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And it's sort of like that with Trump, where it's like he can't be everything to everybody, or he would be. But if he doesn't go hard in the paint on these very specific gender, women's rights, immigration, if he doesn't go hard in the paint on those, the people who support him won't support him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And the left, the people who don't support him would never come across the line just because he starts, like advocating for those people.
Fucked.
So it's like it's really fucked. So if the best choice is a choice that alienates and fucking almost literally criminalizes a giant swath of our population.
Yeah.
We've been saying we're fucked since before Trump got in the White House. We've been saying, maybe we haven't been doing it since then, but
but
the point should be clear.
So I have that problem.
Well, yeah, but if you were like a trans person, or if you were a woman, you wouldn't think that there was anything possibly good about Trump getting back in the White House.
Yeah, right. It's a fucking right. No, 100%. I mean,
that's a speeding truck coming right at you.
Yeah, I was
literally.
There's
figuratively
everything's upside down right now. It's very strange.
Yeah.
But growing up in the places I did, around the people I did, like my mom and everyone put me on. The first school bus I was ever on was to an anti-abortion rally. I didn't even know what we were doing.
You're like, cookies and juice. I'm in.
I was like, oh, you can't poop on the bus? That's all I remember. Well, actually, that wasn't even a pooper there. So,
no,
but point being,
I was like, you're on a tour bus?
Yeah, the conflated memories there. But fucking, what I was saying too, in some of these weirder, hardcore fundamentalist places, they wanted to overturn Roe v. Wade, gay marriage, and basically outlaw being gay.
Success.
No, it's like they are working at it. But I still don't think they can get away from the internet is kind of awesome in many ways. And like
the what?
The web gets us all together. Like the internet, I do think,
no.
I do think it can be used to make people smarter. And I do think there are people trying to engineer this reality. Lex Friedman.
But yeah, but if you're like, again, that's talking from a place
of optimism.
You're a white male.
No,
you're untouchable.
That's not. I am nothing. What are you talking about? I'm not even allowed to
You're
talk down
untouchable.
here.
Well,
What do you
yeah. I
mean?
mean, you got to be careful what you say, but you're untouchable. Like no one's coming after you
No,
except for the
no.
woke police.
No. That is confidence. That took years to find and build myself. That's just because no one can take that away. That's a human thing. Women can do that too.
I'm talking about.
We're
You're talking about.
I'm
Anyway.
talking about now, where women are starting. Things are slowly balancing out. Yes, it's rough, but like starvation. Who's that guy that wrote that book where like all things are getting like, even though it's rough, and I know we're about to explode right here, which is a little concerning before World War III. But I just have hope that we will self-correct because we're loving, logical, and kind as a species.
It must be really, really nice there.
No, it's horrible. What are you talking about? Well, no, pessimism's way easier.
It's
What are you
not
talking
easy.
It's try coming over here.
I'm not pessimistic.
Well,
I'm a realist.
There's that's a quick sleight of hand. I've seen that before in other circles. But like, people, you are awesome. Your wife is awesome. All of these weird fucking friends I've made over the year with rock and roll, some of them are amazing and say the coolest shit out of their face. Some of that shit helps people's life in immense ways. There are so many things positive and rad about us weird, hairy, hairless apes. You know, there are so many cool things that are happening that we could start fixing. It seems like we are, you know, some of us. And I'm just hoping it continues that way. You know, it's definitely dark. It doesn't, you know.
You don't get to say both sides.
Well,
you're going to say the light side, and I'm going to say yes. These hairy, yes, there are a lot of amazing things. Let me talk for a second.
Well, before I want you to go on a huge rant, but this was my optimism. So this what this started with is like my hope.
Okay,
I know this is as close to a live, laugh, love thing back that I can get. I know it's crazy.
Like, you and I don't disagree that there are amazing people doing amazing things. I think that I don't know, and I don't necessarily think we disagree at the fact, but on the fact that the people doing the most strenuous lifting right now are not good people. The people doing the most, having the most impact, are evil corporations and people behind the scenes with all the money.
Amen.
That's like that, and those are the people. That's why I'm not a pessimist. I'm a realist. That's what's happening. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to be a genius. You don't have to like do a bunch of studying. You have to do some, but like that's all I'm saying is like, I think that the people, the Lex Friedmans and the Joe Rogans and whoever you want to, like whatever.
Yeah.
There are drops in a bucket, and the bucket is filled by evil people.
Man,
you know,
I think there's, I don't know, man. It's very hard for me. I think you're right, obviously, about everything that you just said. But I just feel like the kindness is more infectious. Like working out is infectious. Like it's weird. Doing cool, good things is like other people get fucking turned on by that and start, like when Squire sends me a photo of the ice bath, I'm like, yeah, motherfucker. I go out and run or something.
Yeah, we're talking about, again, we're talking about macro and micro. And I think macro, we're in the upside down world that's fucked. And micro, do an ice bath. Better yourself.
But
build the temple.
But in this one, there's no gatekeepers because of this. There's some company that helps us edit my monkey ass, edit up this shit for us, right? And now it's going out. And people are obviously telling other people about the podcast because we don't do shit.
I'm not
it's like, think about ones with bigger reaches, like Joe Rogan. How many people are into fitness now, or like reading books they never would have read, or thinking differently,
learning things they wouldn't have learned, like the FDA recently putting out a report that says it's okay for Americans to eat 90-something% super processed food in their diet.
Damn.
Yeah. It's like, whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
We're way out of our lane.
Yeah, this has been fun for me though.
Okay. And like it makes me feel really uncomfortable because I'm not trying to, like, I feel like you do it on purpose a little bit, where you want to be all light and you want me to like rage against the
No, I kind of more want to make sure there's no holes. I'm because I try to preface it with like crazy.
You want to fill all the holes?
I want you to fill all my holes.
You fucking creep. You have been hanging out with Squires for too long.
The green room talk is gnarly. It's weird when you try to drop green room talk anywhere else.
Here's why. Because I'm bigger than you.
It's weird. That's finally not true.
Yeah. He's shrinking.
Yeah, I'm significantly. I weigh like 20 pounds more than him now.
He could. That wouldn't get you there.
It wouldn't get me far.
No. If he wants
he
it,
he would, but wow, that's funny. He said he would. Maybe he's the one. He's hacked in.
Yeah,
he's fucking. He's fucking jerking off right now.
Ooh.
I thought there would be another like if it was him, so that was more of a test.
No,
I'll edit that one.
It's
out
not anybody.
But I'm not trying to get you riled up. It is I am hopeful for the species. I'm hopeful. I mean,
dude, what makes you like? As far back as this book goes,
yeah,
we've been under thumb. We're slaves.
Well, not really. No, not at all. Not at all.
Oh my God.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's studying these Gnostics. No, there's a bunch of people that have been weeded out that use Jesus for other shit. Mary Magdalene says there should be no government, right? We read that.
Mary Magdalene gets 2 lines, and they're not even.
They destroyed that shit. They wouldn't let that shit fly, but we got
That's what I'm saying.
But that's just evil people over the years. That doesn't have anything to do with the source. That has anything to do with the story.
You don't know what. You don't have any idea what the source is.
Yeah. I'm just.
You're making up the source you're making up the source in your head.
No, I don't. There's no source. I'm just.
You just said the
only
source.
Facts we have.
We don't have any facts.
Okay, here we have facts. Ready? In northern Egypt, there's a bunch of people that don't believe anything about Jesus Christ, that still worshiped him, that don't believe anything about Jesus Christ that you could find in any church almost today. They believe that Yahweh was a fucking piece of shit half god that thought he was the only God, and that Jesus Christ was here to free you from him. That's a crazy rad belief. That's so fun, right? And we know that these people existed enough to put Bibles here. Yeah, the Gnostics. Yeah, that's Mary Magdalene, Joseph.
You sound like a crazy person right now.
But you should Google any of this because these are all facts.
But I'm not going to, and so you're just like.
But you can't just. You can't. You are a pessimist if you're
I'm not. Look,
you just went no, and everything I just said is Googleable.
Well, then you should Google it and like have some facts because you're just like pulling stuff out of this.
No, this is what I've been reading 3 books on. I'm almost through my 3rd.
Okay.
I listened to a 40-hour course on this.
Okay. Well, then, cite your work, man.
Isn't this? Yes, I am. Okay.
I don't mean currently.
No, I'm fucking doing it. You're calling me out.
Do it now.
I spend so much time on this.
Look, I'm not trying to like upset you, but like you're
not.
I don't even know
what you're from Nag Hammadi to the Gospel of Judas by Professor David Brake, Brakke. The Lost Gospel of
buddy.
I'm telling you the books.
We're over our skis.
No, you asked for receipts, and I'm giving to you the shit I just said about
even before that we were over our skis, and now we're like
yeah. But if we're
you're getting all worked up, and I'm not entirely sure why, and it's okay, but it's like, you can't.
You just said when I'm telling you about this shit about different,
but I don't even know why you were telling me about that.
Because that's awesome. This Bible has a lot of different. You always go so negative with it, but like maybe because of this scholarly work, because of people like Dan, because of Bart, because of the Dead Sea Scrolls, because of all this vantage point we have, maybe we get to be some fucking hairless monkeys that figure out what was actually happening back then. That Nag Hammadi where they found Magdalene and the Gospel of Judas and Thomas and all that shit. That was recent. What is going on?
I just don't understand why you think that this manuscript, that all of the people you mentioned have also concurred, has no inherent meaning. How it's going to somehow make us understand what really happened and who this person really was. Like, we're not gonna, you know what I mean? Like, this manuscript is it's like, it's gonna, like, kind of like you're saying, the things that have been found recently, you introduce more things, then maybe there'll be more information to make a better, but that's not what you're saying. You're saying this book, maybe if we, by, you know, like, I'm not pessimistic. I'm not dark. I'm just like, I'm not you. And you have your thumb on the scale for this book.
You think that, but I'm just trying to be Sure, I've admitted this 1,000 times, but objectively speaking, whenever I go too far into anything positive, it's just no. It's just like, and that's where I get. That's where I, you know. And I'm not trying to put this label on you because fucking.
No, it's okay.
I get it. Non-positive thought about you in my head, right? But right, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so like, totally.
I think we both agree on this, that somehow this book was edited, taken over by the powers that be, probably to have the thumb on the scale forever. That organized religion, for even if it wasn't meant for this, has become like propaganda-ish bullshit. And if you get into the nitty-gritty of this, you agree with this?
I just think that, like, I just thought of a new path that might be more helpful.
Yeah.
What I think is that the way forward into the light has nothing to do with this book. Like, the way forward into the light has to do with the internet and educating yourself and breaking free of this book being the defining set of guidelines on how you live your life. It's like when you start talking about how maybe this book can help, blah 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 blah. I'm like, no, man, you're already. Let me finish. You're already. That's the part where I say you have your thumb on the scale, and I don't know that you can. I don't know that you, Leif, can ever not do that, because it's so ingrained in you. You were so immersed in. I'm not done. This is not a dig. It's like the same way that I get super pissed about the Catholic Church. That'll never not be the case, because it was foundational for me. And I think that, so when I'm not going dark, I'm not negative about this book, I'm pessimistic, and I naysay that this book, looking backwards, studying this text, this manuscript, is the way to lead us to victory over the dark forces that we currently find ourselves under thumb. That's my whole thing. So
interesting.
So it's like, you're not going to convince me. You're never going to convince me that the Bible is the way forward to a better life where everybody is everybody's taken care of. You know, I know it says a lot of those things, but the problem is nobody reads the Bible, and the people who use the Bible to keep the sheep in line don't want you to take care of your neighbor. Don't want you to, like.
Well, you're saying a lot there, so which is rad.
Yeah.
But so for me, one, what you just said essentially describes Gnosticism. That's the shit we've read in Mary Magdalene, the shit you were going to read in Judas next week.
Gnosticism, Mary Magdalene.
We're saying the same shit, and that's the thing, and that's why I just got defensive. But this book, one thing it is confusing as fuck. Two, we absolutely agree. Maybe and hopefully this is the last generation that has to lean on this shit for this. I think by someone who's been obsessed with it, reads it all day, and has always read it all day. I think it's it almost leads to like mania. I
couldn't agree more.
And I think it almost so now but whenever
really quickly, I think the problem is that there will be no generations that that don't use this book. I can promise you, if the
yeah.
mothership shows up,
Yeah, it gets
people
bigger.
are going to drop down on their knees and start doing the rosary.
Yep, it gets bigger. Yeah.
Well, I don't know about getting bigger, but religion is not going away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, it doesn't matter if the aliens are there, because maybe that's just us from the future coming back to tell us we better be good because God's coming.
And that's the problem I have as just as a human who's grown up in this. And I do have a complex relationship with this book, but I feel like, to the best of our ability, we're taking it at face value. And that's what I'm trying to do. That's at least my goal, is to like put it into history, put it into context. And part of that context is, does it serve us? Is this a good story for humanity? Should we put this in the next Marvel movie as the
Okay.
Right.
And what I was saying, and I totally believe that
Yeah, I
you
think we're on
do
the
strive to
same
do
page.
that. Well, except that I do feel you strive to do that, but I don't think you ever fully get that whole suit off, get entirely out of that pool.
I just
You know
don't
what I mean?
think that. I think that's like for some reason we bump into this as like, because sometimes what I need to do is specify when I'm going to go on a weird religious rant, or when I'm going to just cite what I've been studying. Because there are like people like Dan, where you can go find out some solid fucking facts about the language.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know if we'll ever have the 100, like, it's not like an iPhone recording. It's never going to be like that. But that's crazy.
Dude, it's not well,
This
again,
is new.
so this is
crazy new for humanity to have people like that,
Right, but like, all he's doing is saying what it says. All he's doing is saying what the words are, and and maybe, so correct me if this is like, you're saying it's never going to be an iPhone, it's never going to be a video, you know what I mean? It's never going to be a picture, a snapshot, a video of the reality. I'm saying it's never going to be in color. It's never going to be it's never going to be a picture. It's never going to be, it's always just going to be these words, and the artist, each of us, has to color it in as we see. You know what I mean? It's like, it's nowhere near a video, right? It's like, it's not, that makes sense? Like,
100%. But
when you say it's not a video, it triggers me, because you think it's close to a video.
See, I mean? You're always landing on that side, and I'm saying,
I know.
I'm
That's
saying
why I said,
we've gone from like, we can tell, I can go to my, this isn't real, but if I have a fake aunt that's like super Christian, and I can point at her nativity set, and I can go, yeah, there's not angels, and right. But that wasn't when I was a kid. You couldn't fucking do anything like that.
No. Well, and now, I totally love that part about now. But what's concerning is that no one. It's the same thing about aliens. Nobody fucking cares. No one cares that you can find Dan McClellan and say, oh, the Bible doesn't say anything negative about homosexuality. It's like, oh well, then you know what? Then all the Christians better fucking snap too. They don't fucking do it. You know what I mean? It's the same thing.
Yeah, but the beautiful part is the people who don't fall onto the side of truth, like, and this is for me too, because I don't
know what that means. The people who fall,
because you can dance around facts as much as you want. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can start making up weird beliefs, like Baptists. I mean, there's 2,000 different denominations that believe in different things about this book and Jesus Christ. So like, but not for long. Because shit, like this, Dan comes out and is like, no, that word never appears here. And then you're like, what the fuck? We have an entire section of our church pamphlet devoted to how to handle these people. Some people have scared straight camps.
Yeah.
Like,
but it doesn't change.
No,
that's the thing, is like, Dan coming out.
That's gross. People will move away, and that will die off, because it's gross. It's been
it won't. People don't move away though. I mean, I don't know. My fear is that the people, the sheep, and it's important again to qualify who we're talking about when we're talking about this, because, like, people like you and I We're not sheep. We were raised as sheep, and we're like, fuck this. It's like, but the sheep, those guys, there are a lot of them, and they don't want you letting them out of the pen. They don't want you fucking with they don't want you fucking with the fence. They don't want you fucking taking pot shots at the wolf that the shepherd dog. They want you to fuck off and let them be in their sheep pen.
Yeah, but sorry, keep going.
I'm just saying, like, so when we're talking about people bettering themselves, and we're not talking about a majority of the population.
I think it could become that, though. And I think it's trending towards
that.
Motherfuckers wake up at 4 a.m. because of a David Goggins guy trying to fucking Jocko Willink.
Not sheep. Sheep do not wake up at 4 a.m. Leif.
Some of those
That's
people
exactly
were
what
sheep.
I'm saying.
I was a sheep before, and that's
no, you weren't. You were never a sheep. You were raised a sheep.
You're very nice.
No, I'm not. I'm a fucking asshole about it.
I'm just trying to take a fucking compliment. Sorry.
It's not a compliment. It's a reality. You were raised a sheep, and you fucking jumped over the fence because it was like, what the fuck? It's like there's a difference. People who get up at 4 a.m. and work out with David Goggins are not sheep. They're people who are sheep. The sheep are the ones that go, hey, the FDA just said I can eat junk food for my entire life, and that's an okay diet.
Yeah, but
those are the
sheep.
Look
like they're gonna start being sick all the time and have all those.
They already are. Well, our whole fucking dude.
You're 100% real, but I think right now where we're just falling is, and unfortunately for me, it's just the glass is half full thing. Because I know, here's the thing, my optimism is built around kind of me and my reality. And
I get it. Yeah,
now in my life, everything's
and I know, and that's why I think this works really well, is because we could do this for another 3 hours.
It's more fun than the Bible.
No, it's great. I'm like, I'm not saying it's great, you dick.
Luckily, that's basically it. Page, because every once in a while I get scared. But like,
no, we're like, I get it. Like,
yeah, right. Okay.
Just shut up about this fucking book, Leif.
Dude, so even on this diet, and we're like, I broke my tooth out of my mouth. I've been all fucked up. I was on meds for 2 weeks there. Fucked up my last 3 episodes.
Sounds fun.
It was actually. I go down in the morning. I walk on the beach. There's fucking people out there. In fact, when I used to go walk 10 miles, which takes like 3-4 hours, right? There would be a guy running back and forth. He would lap me about 7-8 times from Venice to here.
Okay.
And it's,
that guy's not a sheep, Leif.
I think through the sharing of all this information, these podcasts, I think humanity seems to be in a neck and neck race closer than ever with total annihilation and like self-empowerment of like real self-empowerment. Like, what if technology? Let's
see.
Now follow me for 2 seconds. Just give me 1 second. I know I've taken too many already.
Okay.
Let's say the aliens come down and they give like free electricity to everyone, basically. What if? Have you seen the superconductor thing that they got at room temperature?
Don't ask questions. You only have 2 minutes.
That was it. Those are the two things. What if that superconductor thing happens, and then electricity is just like you can use a fucking battery to power?
When you're talking about what ifs, and what I wanted to say about your thing, you were talking about dude running back and forth, lapping you while you're walking 10 miles, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, and you're saying there's this battle between, people, light and darkness. Again, we're saying the same thing, but I feel like you're saying humanity's doing this, and I'm saying a very small portion of the population is doing it, and everyone else is sheep. I'm saying it's like 75% of the planet is sheep, and 25% are the people you're talking about. And so it's like, yes, there are people, and yes, it's those people. Hopefully, are the people who bring. Hopefully, eventually, those people can bring the sheep around. But until that 25% have overcome the adversity of the 1% who are the fucking dark lords of the fucking universe, the sheep remain the sheep. You know what I mean? The sheep remain unfazed, untouched, and untouchable.
Yeah, Does
that make sense? You
know
what I'm saying?
I agree.
That's why we are talking about this. We are saying the same thing. I'm just saying, the people who even haven't are even threatening to be enlightened. like you're saying, it's a very small percentage of the population. And until that percentage gets enlightened and overcomes whatever the glass half empty is, then the sheep remain in a pen, eating their own shit.
Well, I mean, that's huge. There's a lot there. And I think maybe where it starts dividing is like when I speak of like this movement and stuff, I'm not talking about overtaking governments and I'm not talking about full power, because a lot of what like what I actually take from the gospel is not like that kind of power. I think a good life. I'm thinking of like really healthy relationships. I'm thinking of like goosebumps every day, So like, but I mean, it's hard to run away from the reality of what you still said. I just wonder if we get to a spot where everyone has all their shit taken care of because of automations. Humans,
Who's we?
The species.
Oh,
people from Russia to here to, if there's fucking that superconductor shit, some alien technology. I know what I'm saying, but shit's been weirder. Shit's been weirder before. What if people would start like pursuing excellence, kindness? Like, what if they would start feeling how good it is to work out? What if they would try to expand their mind? What if they would?
What?
Just by themselves, just by like watching other people live life and be like, damn, that seems to be way better.
I get, like, I can hear you. I hear you, and what I hear is you just saying, "What if?" Like, you're not talking about a reality. You're talking about what if a reality. And I'm talking about a reality as we're living in it right now, and we're kind of like
tomorrow we won't be living in this
stand
reality.
there, and you're looking forward.
Yeah.
And I'm like looking down at the ground that we're standing on. That's how I see the difference. It's like, why are you looking forward saying what if, when it's like we can't even, that what if is completely dependent on what I said about if with changing, you want everybody as a species, you want the species to evolve positively, then the group, the majority of the species, which is in a pen, insisting on being hand fed and told what to think and what to eat and what to feel, that percentage, we have to. Are you gathering what I'm scattering?
Yes. Today,
so then for you to say
today is bleak. Right now, today in the world sucks. There's genocide going on. There's way harder things.
So
but
I don't understand.
We don't live just only here. And if we create universes in the future with our thoughts, why not create a good one? That's what I'm doing right now.
That's great, but
it's not
when you talk about
this is not solid ground.
It's not even reality. There's no ground at all. Yeah,
I don't think we live in fucking this. This is some magical weird world where you can go from not being good at guitar to being really, really good at guitar.
Right, but it takes energy and concerted effort.
Yes, it's more fun than Call of Duty. It's way more fun to be able to bench press.
But I'm saying that the sheep don't have any idea. They're not putting concerted energy into. They think what they're doing is living a good life.
I am. Yeah,
your family.
Blind
Your family thinks that they are living a good life. Your sisters think they are living a good life.
All their society around them, they're very respected in their communities, and I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, according to Pinterest, they are. They have a farm and fucking make their own. They're like fucking,
That's what I'm saying, though. Is like, so until, obviously, what the community you grew up in is the extreme. But it's like they're being told what to think, and they're abiding. You know what I mean? Like
but we have twice the amount of followers than my old church.
I'm not. It has nothing to do with followers. It has to do. You can't. Just because we have followers doesn't negate. The sheep think they're living the right life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
but
until you can convince the sheep otherwise by we have to leapfrog. Let's call us the lions. There's the sheep, the lions, and then there's the dungeon masters. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
The lions have to leapfrog the dungeon
I
masters
think that might be
to
happening
be in charge of the sheep.
with
Well,
the
you
tools that are
think
coming out.
you think it
Yeah.
might be happening. Is like,
Yeah. I'm totally fine. I don't. It's not like
I would love. There's nothing more. I would.
You know what?
I would
you know
love
what
that to be the
realized?
truth.
You know what I realized is bringing this up. One of the things that's big is on my phone. I downloaded ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And I ask it questions about the Bible, and I can find answers to shit. So you already heard me do it 3 times here.
That's awesome. Yeah.
It's insane. It's
Yeah.
fucking insane. And
Yeah.
so it's like, oh my God, you have Dan McClellan in your pockets.
Yeah.
Okay, that's weird. So to me, where we're sitting right here is, I feel like the oldest, most obsolete, weird dinosaur kind of reptilian brain put into right before laser beams and hoverboards. Like this, we're in a neck and neck race, and I'm just hoping that it's the goodness, kindness, and all the rad shit about humanity that makes it through the other side. There's like, if you listen to Lex Friedman's podcast, he is infectious with love and happiness. He's not religious-ish, but
I think what triggers me so much is you believe the race is neck and neck.
And you think it's already over?
I don't think it's already over. I don't think that we've gotten to the starting line yet. You know what I mean? I don't believe that I don't believe that I don't believe we're anywhere near neck and neck. You know what I mean? Like, I think that first of all, what's been going on as far as a geological time or an astronomical time is like a blink of an eye. But as far as humans go, we've been under thumb for so long that I don't feel like, it seems more like the Titanic or one of those giant ships that take a long time to like, they saw the iceberg coming a mile away and they still couldn't, it takes so long for one of those fucking things to change course even mildly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's us. It's like, it's going to take us so long. I said this long time ago that we've been on the wrong path for so long. Hundreds if not thousands of years.
Percentage success rate of being correct in our friendship over the years. I give you that, and it always challenges me. But have you seen that episode of South Park where the old people signed the treaty with Man Bear Pig?
With who?
Do you know about Man Bear Pig from South Park, who Al Gore was trying to warn everyone about back in 2000?
Man Bear Pig?
Oh,
I haven't seen it. You got to send me a link to that.
So we're gonna go. It's too much.
Yeah.
I just wonder, and this is psychedelic Leif talking. This is post like doing things I thought I would never.
Please
do.
just don't make me mad right now.
Well, I'm wondering, like,
please don't say something nice and woo-woo. I fucking swear to God, I'm going to poop on you.
Squire said that, what if we create reality with every thought, with every. And I wonder if that's fucking like a treadmill, like a hologram treadmill. Why can't we have non-real? We just read the most non-real fucking shit of all time. Why can't we stay in the non-real? It's a little bit nicer right now. It's more fun, right? There's another Rick and Morty that fucking is even about this kind of, But it's like reality is like constantly evolving as you're living, and the possibilities therein, therefore, are almost.
It's
if we're floating through infinity. Why don't we point at the good shit? That's all.
It's like the Escher painting where the hand is writing itself.
Yeah. So why wouldn't
if we're drawing ourselves? Why don't we?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Look, I get it. But what I'm saying is that, again, it's just the tip of the pencil. If our species is a pencil, there's a very small amount of the pencil that's actually doing the recording. There's a very small amount, like the Escher painting, right?
All we need.
Dude, you keep moving the goalpost. You said the whole species, and now you're like,
never said any part of this since we got here is real.
All right.
I'm just hopeful, bro. I ain't
Okay,
saying
I don't mind
I'm
hopeful.
fucking- yeah,
I don't mind
None
hopeful.
of this is fucking.
You know what? Actually, I
Post the
think
Gnostic thing.
maybe I mind hopeful. Maybe that's the problem
And it could. I did this week. I had so much problems with this shit.
with hopeful.
Yeah, I was talking to Kate about it.
Yeah.
Because, like, again, yeah, you got to deal with what's in fucking front of you. You can't fucking deal with, like, you know,
What you hope for.
Yeah, it's like,
Hope,
and people
hope
who
don't pay the bills.
there you go. But like, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a bad place to end.
That's a great place then. Hey, you know what, motherfuckers? Hope don't pay the bills. Get to work.
And yeah, we went so much longer than normal too. That's
I know,
fun.
that's good. It was like ranting at the end. Oh,
Believe
fuck you! Fuck you too! I love God!
No, I think we're Gnostic Christians, bro. When we start reading about when I get to tell you more about this weird religion, you're
Dude,
gonna
I can't
feel like,
wait.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
Because none of this is real to them.
Yeah.
And it's like it is all just about seeing past all the bullshit and basically living a good life. But again, we don't know much about them, so they tried to stamp them out of fucking history.
And now I got to find healthcare.
Literally, the best writings we have about them are their biggest opponents quoting them.
Okay, you know what? I think that's for another episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking rad.
I thought this was really fun.
I did too.
A little early for this, but I loved it.
I loved it too.
Yeah.
I love you
Thanks
guys.
for listening,
Say goodbye to
everybody.
them. Bye. Goodbye.
Kika!